Just imagine it. You wake up in the dead of night, you're totally aware of your surroundings, but you are completely paralyzed. If you've ever woken up frozen, maybe feeling this incredibly heavy weight on your chest, or even worse, sensing some dark presence lurking right in the corner of your room, it is entirely normal to ask yourself these terrified questions. You're lying there in a total panic thinking, am I literally losing my mind? Why on earth can't I move my arms or legs? Well, as your doctor for this explainer, I want to reassure you right out of the gate. What you're experiencing is simply a physical misalignment during sleep. It's not a supernatural event, it's not a ghost, and it is definitely not a sign of mental decline. You are completely sane, and this is a very well-documented medical phenomenon. In fact, get this, 25% of the population will experience sleep paralysis at some point in their lives. To put that into perspective, that means it's roughly as common as getting the hiccups. So you are far from alone in this, even if it feels incredibly isolating when you're stuck in the moment. Section 1. The Science of Atonia. Let's look at this physical misalignment. We're going to dive right into this first piece of the puzzle and look at the actual biology of what's happening to you under the covers. The paralyzed state your body enters during REM sleep to prevent you from acting out your dreams. It's basically a brilliant evolutionary feature to keep you safely in bed. Your brain actively paralyzes your body so your mind can dream safely, preventing you from accidentally giving your partner a black eye while you sleep. It's just a built-in safety mechanism. The crucial point here is that sleep paralysis is essentially a limbo state. Think about the awake and alert brain, fully lucid and aware, compared to the sleeping and frozen body that hasn't gotten the memo to move yet. Your brain wakes up, usually closer to the morning when REM sleep is longer, but it completely forgets to hit the muscle-on switch. Normally, waking up and moving go in lockstep, right? But here, they're completely misaligned. So let's look at the physical mechanics. This lockdown is driven by two specific neurotransmitters, GABA and glycine. These act like a literal padlock on your muscles, actively turning them off. And because your chest muscles are also in this deeply relaxed state, taking a deep breath feels incredibly difficult, which creates that scary sensation of chest pressure. When those neurotransmitters just don't wear off in time, you're left physically incarcerated in your own bed, while your conscious mind is totally panicking. Moving on to Section 2, Shadows, Demons, and Aliens. Let's enter the next phase of our consultation and address what is, by far, the most frightening symptom, the things you see and hear when you're paralyzed. There are three main types of sleep paralysis hallucinations here. First up, intruder hallucinations. That's when you sense a dangerous presence in the room. Next, chest pressure, which gives you a suffocating feeling, or like there's a literal demon sitting on your chest. And third, out-of-body or vestibular hallucinations, which bring on feelings of flying or floating. Whether you're seeing a shadowy figure or just scary spiders on the ceiling, these are merely a continuation of your REM dream state overlapping directly into your waking reality. So why are they always so terrifying? Well, these hallucinations are essentially a panic response to being paralyzed while conscious. Because 90% of these episodes are associated with intense fear, your brain's fight or flight response kicks into high gear. But since you physically can't move to fight or flee, your mind actually projects these terrifying images into your bedroom just to justify the profound panic you're experiencing. The last time on the news, you had the story that a group of people were having an afternoon meeting around the boardroom table, and all of a sudden, Steve was taken away by aliens, right? It never happens like that. This brilliantly highlights why alien abduction stories almost exclusively happen to people who are immobilized in bed at night. They are simply experiencing intense sleep paralysis hallucinations. The paralyzing agent, the weird presence in the room, it perfectly matches the biology we literally just talked about. All right, Section 3, breaking the paralysis panic. Now that we've demystified the monsters and the aliens, let's look at why this happens to you specifically and how we can break the cycle. Triggers. Any lifestyle habit that bumps up your sleep debt, like severe sleep deprivation or battling jet lag, significantly raises your risk of slipping into this terrifying limbo. Even just having a few alcoholic drinks before bed can do it. Add in anxiety, PTSD, and underlying conditions like insomnia or sleep apnea, and you've got massive contributors that totally disrupt your natural sleep architecture. We also know from twin studies that there is a genetic influence of just over 50%. So if an odd family member frequently experiences this, your chances are automatically higher. Yep, it is partially written right there in your DNA. If you do find yourself frozen, here's your immediate emergency action plan. Firmly tell yourself, I am in sleep paralysis, it is just a dream. By mentally recognizing what's happening, you prevent that panic from taking over. Just giving yourself that comforting reminder that it's a dream can actually help loosen the paralysis and prompt your body to finally wake up. Section 4. Prescribing good sleep hygiene. As your doctor for this explainer, I'm definitely not going to leave you without a concrete treatment plan to prevent this from happening in the first place. Let's run through a solid preventative sleep routine. Number 1, stick to a consistent sleep and wake schedule. Number 2, put that phone away at least 30 minutes before bed. And number 3, keep the bedroom quiet, dark, and at a moderate temperature. By establishing this relaxing vibe, free from bright screens or weird temperature swings, you can absolutely stop the cascade of anxiety that leads to chronic insomnia and recurrent paralysis. Now, I need you to know that sleep paralysis can be an early warning sign for other sleep disorders like narcolepsy or sleep apnea. It's super vital that you monitor these episodes. While there isn't a magical cure for a standalone episode, if they keep happening, it might just be time to see a real, in-person doctor to check for potentially serious conditions. So, as we wrap up this clinical explainer, here is my final question for you. Now that you know the science behind the shadows, how will you change your nightly routine to finally take back your sleep? I really want you to remember, the demons aren't real, but your sleep hygiene absolutely is. So what step will you take tonight to ensure you rest peacefully and safely? Thank you so much for joining me in the clinic.